Pleasant. Welcome to the Talking Point here on Blaze 90.7 FM. Today is Thursday, the Thursday edition of Talking Point here on Blaze. And this evening, and all you have to do is to just invite another person to sit along with you, then listen to the Talking Point. For those of you watching us live on Facebook, you can also do us a favor by sharing the live feed as well as on YouTube. You also do all a favor and share the live feed. We will be discussing Liberian matter here, the Liberian people, and this is the nation premium, evening show. We talk the talk, and you, the Liberian people, decide. So this evening we had a group of young people here, but before we can go to them, let me turn to my colleague, Kona, and we can do a little update of the public of some of the information that have been unfolding here today. Once we do that, then we cross over to our guests to actually introduce themselves and then we run into business here this evening. So, Kodan is all yours.
Yeah, Sarah, let me say good evening to you and good evening to the peace loving people of Liberia. It is good to be back on the talking point tonight, Thursday edition. Like usually we say to our people, help us to share the live video. Invite someone if you are watching or listening via the radio. Invite someone to listen with you because, as usual, the talking point promises to be fascinating. And tonight edition, you cannot afford to miss it. So, Sarah, you talk about the issue of some of those things that happen across the country today. As usual, uh, we are also hopeful that Liberia will win its bid on the United Nations Security Council. Like we have about 5 days now to that particular election. So the process still ongoing. And we are watching to see what will come out of the out of New York. So we
Yeah,
are
so
we are
let,
watching
let,
to
let's
know.
talk around the Liberia bid to the United Nations Security Council. Not permanent member to the United Nations Security Council. There are many Liberians that are confused. What impact, what benefit does this thing bring to Liberia? Because there are many Liberians that are confused that they hear about this thing and don't know the inside of the entire process. So can you tell us a little bit about the seat at the United Nations?
Yes, Saros. One of the good things there. The first thing, let's get to know that Liberia is a founding member
Mhm.
of the United Nations.
Yes.
So going for a war after we spent nearly 15 years in a civil crisis, Liberia as a country, we think it is necessary with our experience as when it comes to civil war and with all of our record that we have been part of the United Nations since its foundation, we think we can contribute to the peace of the world.
Okay.
So if Liberia wins this bid, there'll be lots of benefit. For instance, our country will sit with decision makers
Okay.
around the world
Okay.
to decide some of those happening across the globe. And mind you, it will also attract investment. If we have people from Liberia, for instance, sitting with the US, sitting with Russia, France, Ukraine, some of those bigger countries around the world discussing peace around the world, it also attract investment to the country because maybe on the sideline, there will be some level of discussion when it comes to investment in Liberia. So that alone can attract investment. That alone shows to the world that Liberia is a peaceful country and Liberia is open for business. Man, you being peaceful, everyone want to really make business with you because you are peaceful. So being on that seat, it shows that Liberia is a peaceful nation. Liberia is a democratic state for which everyone will want to really make use of. So lots of benefits are there. we are just hoping that the country will really, really will get that seat. Yeah,
Yeah, so Sam, thank you ever so much for giving a clear picture to our Liberian people, especially a post-war country like Liberia,
yeah,
serving on the non serving as non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. Actually, will be a boost diplomatic wise.
yeah,
Liberia will have the privilege to interact, attract people, and it will also boom our economy as well, because the more you sit with investors and other things, you will be able to convince some of these people to come and invest in the country.
yeah,
And that will serve as recognition too for Liberia. We will be taken seriously around Africa, around the world. And I think that's a good thing for Liberia. And so each and every one of us as a patriotic citizen at this point in time should do all that we can to actually make sure that Liberia win that seat against DR Congo, especially most people can say Dr. Congo against DR Congo. So Liberia can win that seat, and that will save. They are, and the politician will always play their politics.
yeah,
They will
yeah,
always play their politics. There are other people on the other side. There are other people opposition, ruling position, no position. No matter what, when it comes on the international wide, we should all unite and we do what we can to put Liberia on the map. And when we come in house, we can do the playing of our politics. We can play the round politics. But actually, we're pressing again time. Oh,
yeah.
we're pressing again time. I think we need to run over to our guests here this evening to actually hear from them, because they are here to voice so many things out. They want to speak to their constituents. They want to even I mentioned the word constituent, so it came to my mind, but let me just leave it at this. Yes, they want to speak to their people, and so we'll give them the time to actually, speak to them. And so, okay, let me see what I can cross over to them now. Okay, good evening, guys. Good evening.
People on the stage. Don't forget.
Yes, I have to do that. Okay, are you set?
Yeah.
Good evening. Um, please tell us your name, your portfolio, and you
The
can cross over
institution
to
as
the
well.
next.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much for the introduction. And I was impressed. I am Jerry Yasia
Okay.
from the Campaigner for Good Governance. I happen to be the Secretary General. Basically, we are here to talk about trending national issues with special emphasis on what is happening in District Number 4. So, yes, and I admire the introductory comment that you made relative to Liberia Bay. It is
Okay.
interesting when you see Liberian for all facets supporting their country. Very unique. So thank you.
Okay. And you?
Okay, my name is Muboyen, and I first of all want to say thank you for the invite. And like my colleague said, we are a group of young people from the campaign of good governance, and we are actually happy to be here tonight at the Blaze Communication Network. And like we all keep saying, Liberia is what we all have. And when it comes to the international scene, I think we all need to pull hand to support one. There is a possibility for us to support each other to gain something from the international community. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure having you as well. And I think we will discuss Liberia issue. We will discuss, but the name is kind of a catching though. And I
Yeah.
actually want to go around that name first before we can start some business. You
Yeah.
say campaigner for good governance. Can you tell us more where you have your office, how long you've been existing, and what are some of the activities you are involved with?
So basically, we from a diverse background. So after the 2023 general and presidential election, because we were a group of young people that supported diverse political actors. So after the 2023 election, we thought it wise to come together to see how we can establish an organization that will checkmate and foster recommendation to who be leaders of our country and constituents in our country. So on that basis, we formulated this group name and staff, Campaigner for Good governance. So we actually get established after the 2023 election, 2024. And since our establishment, we have been engaging leaders of our country, our lawmaker in District Number 4, and other leaders around the country. And we also be involved with some community cleaning up activities. Like my brother said, we are people from diverse background, group of professional young people. Some of our colleagues have been tutoring young people when it comes to wax. So, like I said, we are a group of young people from diverse background, but our focus is good governance because good governance comes with the rule of law. Good governance comes with peace. Good governance comes with how they call it a fight against corruption, and you just name the rest.
Okay.
So he said it rightly in addendum to what he said. And you said it needs sketchy, which is necessary. But we actually, like he said, Liberia is backward. You will agree with me. And anybody who have been following our history, we are backward in terms of infrastructure development, in terms of human resource development, in terms of the economy, we are backward. And so the need to move fast forward, to push, cannot be overemphasized. It is on the basis that you have a group of young people with very, expertise in terms of in various field of studies, deem it necessary to conglomerate and push issues that have got to do with governance, whether it is an issue about the menace of corruption that we are faced with, or it is an issue about the rule of law. It is just generally governance issues. All right. And so we intend to do that with different style of activism. It is not a normal Liberian style where, for example, you come out just to collect what I call crumbs. No, it is about people, like he said, people very professional individuals, some of whom are university lecturers, some of whom have a university degree, and thought it necessary that look, there is a need that all of us come together. There's a need that we sit around the table. All hands are needed on decks to move issues that we put our countries on the map. And so it is on the basis that we were established, and like you said, 2024. And so the campaign goes on. In fact, we are having plan, we are having conversation to cut across the entire country, where we will have branches in various counties, to push the issue about governance, to talk about ills in society, whether it is the issue of education, it is the issue of employment opportunity, or infrastructure development, or rule of law, and whatever. And so
Yeah, so good governance and I think. But I didn't hear you answering. Where you have your office? Where basically can we locate you?
currently we are in district number 4. We are located in district number 4, and there we are in district number 4.
District number 4. And so the campaign of a good governance you're talking about, you are involved with, community initiative. He also mentioned about, doing some cleaning up in the community, but your main focus is around good governance, be it corruption for the fight against corruption, you know, having good educational settle, good health and other stuff. So tell us how many members, because you talk about professional during the 2023 elections, you had a group of young people who are supporting different political party, different candidate in the election. And after the election, you came together and formulated this particular group. Can you tell us how many members you have? And after, because mind you, you have a group of young people from different political background. How have you been managing with some of the issues about good governance, most especially going against some of the political party or political figures who your membership are more alarmed with?
So I will begin that, and then come again will just conclude
Okay.
on the issue of membership. Currently, we have, but what we have in our record, we have about 150 members,
Okay.
and there's a wave of endorsement. In fact, people see it the campaigner for good governance or the pastime as those who are doing the heavy lifting in terms of intellectual engagement, where we engage based on fairness, based on balanced conversation. And so, yes, we cut across, and there are a lot of people joining the movement. And so it is just overwhelming and it is exciting to be a part of this group. But the colleagues will conclude with the question.
So, like you said, we have members, and we are still recruiting, and a lot of people, based on our name and based on our involvement with national issues, there are a lot of people who be engaging us that they want to be part of this group. Like you said, we are from different political parties. Like I said, we supported different individuals in the 2023 election, but that does not signify that our coming together is not about good governance. So we are led manner. You know, one thing I always told people, people support political actors on the basis of individual benefits, right? So on that basis, we came together, formed this organization with a specific goal. And I mean, our members, we've been operating in the confines of our name, good governance. So, like you see, my brother Jerry Yasia, he's from a different political party. I'm from a different political party. You see Prince Avin Gonga, he's from a different political party. You see Ellis Momo, he's from a different political party. So, but when it comes to the campaigner for good governance, we speak with one voice, we act with one voice.
Okay, you speak with one voice and act with one voice. If you were to grade yourself with some of the initiative you've been undertaking, especially the fight against corruption, because your name focuses on good governance, and you're one of the main payload that you need to stand against is corruption to have good governance. So, if you were to grade yourself, what are some of the challenges you've been facing, and what is your own success story since the formulation of the campaigner for governance?
So I would tell you that uh, we've been raising some issues when it comes to corruption. Like we said, we got established in 2024,
Okay.
and we don't have the capacity and the resources to reach out. But what we normally do is to engage through media engagement. That is what we are doing right now, and flag some of these issues. Like I always said, and told people that the fight against corruption should be holistic,
Okay.
right? So on that basis, it's not because Jerry Yassier is part of the good governance and he worked with Ministry of Finance and there is a corruption scandal, then I should be tablet on that. No. So we have been engaging some of these issues, the honest challenges that we face, right? If we engage this issue of corruption and push for prosecution, I think the relevant authority should be able to prosecute who be corrupt or who is found in the act of corruption. Let me come in. When the former representative of District Number 4, it was alleged that she carried on some administrative malpractice at NOCA. We raised the issue and the president suspended her. She was sent to LACC, right? But up to present, LACC have not come up with funding. So that is the challenges that we are facing as a common group that's speaking against corruption. We don't have the prosecuting power. We don't have the resources.
So what is your own, alignment, your connection? Because fighting against corruption, you need to work along with these, even though you are a non-for-profit organization, non-governmental organization, but you should also work in line, get some level of connection with these anti-graft institutions that are in the fight against corruption. What is your own connection or engagement with the LDCC and the General Auditing Commission?
Like I said, now we are trying to do other documents and things. that we will be able to reach to some of the anti-graft institution. Like I said, coming from an election, a group of young people from diverse political background and supported different political actors coming together is a challenging issue. Raising resources is a challenging issue. Like my brother rightly said, we are not people that will sell our integrity, right? We fought to raise our own resources to work on some of these things. Mind you, uh, the reasons why most of these organizations will die is because they always reach out to political actors. And when you reach out to political actors to fund an organization, you become subject to that political actors. So we don't want to do that,
So
right?
the campaign for good governance, is it a legal organization in Liberia or are you in the formulation stage?
And we said that uh, we got established 2024, and we are working on our legal framework. But in working on our legal framework, we'll be doing a lot of things behind the scene. So we're not just going to sit back and because we are working on our legal framework and then to wait till after working on our legal framework before we start active work. So on that basis, we are being engaging behind the scene, like what we are doing right now. So we engage in lawmakers, we are engaged other stakeholders, most especially when it comes to good governance.
And
Right?
what are some of the things they're telling you with your engagement when you talk
And
about good governance, when you mention the fight against corruption, and most especially looking at some of the lawmaker who,
and and and
sometimes being alleged of corruption and we
and
go
and and,
about,
and,
engaging in. What's some of the
and
response
you
you got
know,
for
you
them?
know, uh, there are challenges, but we are not going to sit back to see our country going down the drain. So most often when we engage at time, some of them would know that what we are saying is the rightful thing that we are doing. But again, like I said, this is Liberia, and we will not stop. You asked a very brilliant question, and we are in a step to have our legal documents that will signify that we are a legitimate group of people, that we are people with integrity to speak against corruption. Like I told you, we don't have the prosecuting power. So let's agree that if a lawmaker is alleged of corruption, the only thing we can do is to get that evidence, right? And engage the media for state actors and political actors to know, right? If there be prosecution, that person can be prosecuted because we
Okay.
don't have the power.
All right. So let me welcome you again to the platform. I've listened to you people talking about you are in the stage of seeking your legal documentation, which of course I think it is necessary. But what do you say to people out there? You being a champion of good governance, you are illegally operating in the country. Mind you, you have not gotten your legal document, but you are already operating. So, what you have to say to these people? Imagine maybe a government entity, it does not have the legal right to do certain things, but they are doing it. It's bad governance. But now you who call for good governance, you do not have the legal right to do what you are doing as an entity, but you are carrying it on. What do you
So,
have to say to them?
I come in, Jerry. You know, I don't want you to say that we don't have the legal right. Every individual has the legal right to speak of ill in society, right? The other thing that I can tell you that we will not lie to someone that we have a legal document to give us funding to carry on a project. So when you say we don't have the legal right, I differ with you. We have our right to speak on corruption.
I'm talking about,
Yes.
yeah, I'm talking
So
about listen,
we
wait,
have
right?
our
Let's
right.
get something right. Let's get something right.
I'm coming.
Yeah, you come in. I will give you all the time, right? Let's get something right. You as an individual, you have your right, your freedom to say whatever you want to say. It should just be done in the confines of law.
Yeah.
I'm not denying that. But as an institution to operate in the bailiwick of our country, you must have certain legal document. And now you are under the umbrella of the campaign of good governance, operating under that campaign, under that umbrella, in which of we do not have the legal requirement. What make you different from those other institutions that will operate illegally?
The legal requirement to get funding, the legal requirement to apply for projects and things, right? We don't have it. But
Okay, so
we are also under obligation, right? To do some of the things that we're doing. Like I said, tutorial for WAS students, right? I don't think we need to have a legal right to provide our expertise, right? Like speaking against corruption. I don't think we need to have legal right to speak against corruption. Like, right? Undertaking a cleanup campaign in the community to clean our environment. I don't think we need to have a legal right.
okay, so
The
let me
legal right is just a paper.
okay, let me ask you this. Let's do this,
I
right?
just- I
Yeah, Jerry will come in. Before Jerry comes in, right? It is the responsibility of the Supreme Court, right, to hear all cases that come from the lower court to them. Now, imagine the presidential press secretary leaving his office, the executive mansion, going to sit on the Supreme Court bench, right, to carry on that responsibility. It will be legal.
It's I mean, not acknowledge it. It's not.
Gentlemen, offend,
It's not.
legality,
Yeah.
not legality. Sometimes without
So I
without
just-
a roundabout.
I just wanted to
fully
come
Yeah.
to,
different
and I
on
love
that
the
issue.
conversation.
Yeah.
The comedy succinctly just start posing the issues. Thank you, Momo Nye. You know, seriously disappointing that you will tell somebody to fight corruption, they need some kind of people. To do sanitation, they need some kind of people. All right. The brother is not telling you we are innocent the fact that there's a need that we register with the Liberian government. We could get it tomorrow morning. I can tell you we are 80% complete with the formation in terms of legal documentation. So for you to even ask a kind of question, it send a negative signal.
No,
Because
no.
for us
Hello,
to fight,
hello.
let me
hello,
come in.
hello.
To fight corruption,
No.
To the issue of
Let me put you
corruption.
there. It is not important. You are not bound to have a legal document before you operate. But in the process, anything you because you found yourself on a banner, that because of the legality is important to you. That's why you are gone 80%. So tomorrow, if your organization does anything, you will be able to prove something to the Liberian government. For example, I have an article in corporation and I'm operating here. I got sectorial clearing from the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. So as a Liberian citizen, it is your right to speak against corruption. But if you form an organization, you also have the right to register that organization with the Liberian
Their
government.
institution is not telling you that we are not in the formative stage of
I
getting those
understand all that
documentation.
point, but you want to
We
say
know
it's
that-
a negative
No,
question.
but
for you to
Cyrus,
tell me,
Cyrus,
right,
I will not
that-
agree. I will not agree
Give
with
him the
Jerry.
time, give him the
I'll
time,
give
let
it.
him
I'll give Jerry
respond.
time.
No,
It
you-
is the organization is under obligation, right, to get their legal documentation. For instance, this is Blaze FM. Everyone has the right to speak, right? But when Blaze FM establish a radio station, right, they must pass through the legal entity before they say anything on the air. You know why? Because it is that's what they're supposed to do. So long you come under the umbrella of an organization, it is forced. They're begging you forced for you to get a legal document. If you do not do that, it is illegal.
I think we let me progress, right? I would need good governance. is one of the reasons we are being honest to the radio station, right? You ask me a question, I could choose to tell you I got legal document. You're not telling me bring your legal document, right?
But we had a means of digging that out. We will not tell you to present that, but we had a means of
We
digging that out.
investigate.
Yes.
So on the basis of our name, campaign for good governance,
Okay.
right? We are choose to be honest with you that we are on the process of getting all of our legal documents, right?
That is fair enough. That is fair enough.
Yes, that's why you even have community-based organization. Because if we sit and say we have to have all of the legal documents, right? Before we carry on sanitation awareness, we have to have all of the legal documents before we speak against corruption. I don't think we'll be doing justice to our very self and the country. So, like he said, we are making progress. And maybe the next time we'll be coming here, we'll be providing you all of our legal framework that will guide us in the process. We have lawyers and things that are working on some of those, how they call it, documents and things before we can present them, because I am not a lawyer, right? Like you talk about the article in incorporation, right? You have to have a lawyer that will work on some of these documents before they can be presented. So we are there.
Okay, today no, they are brand
But
people are
for
listening.
lawyer, it should not
Yeah.
be halfway because you have
So-
all professionals.
Yeah, yeah, Jerry.
Yeah.
Let Jerry. I think let Jerry come in. Yeah.
So basically, and I love the conversation across the table. An American physicist, Albert Einstein, he said for the war, he said for the war to be faced. All right, you do not need people sitting on the fence. People have to get involved. All right, for Liberia to get better, all of us need hands on deck. The Constitution provides that group of citizens can come together and champion a cause. The cause to fight the meanness of corruption, to fight the issue of the academic malfeasance, if you like, in our country, require us to rise up from our seat, from where we are, to engage. It is on that basis that we are here. But we are not,
Okay.
the fact that
Yeah. So in recent time, I've been following people. What issue do you have with district number 4 representative in recent time?
So let me begin that and come in here and we just conclude. Um, like we say, our office is in district number 4. And so on the basis of that, whenever we see issues in that district, we'll not close eye on it. And you ask a question, let me just try to deal with that question, right? You're a little bit having issue with the issue of political alignment, all right? We don't look at politics. We don't look at political parties. What we look at is the corruption, the issues. The issue are big, that's what we look at. And so Marcus Thomas, who happens to be the lawmaker of district number 4, have been proceeding wrong. We see him as a tyrant and a dictator. And so on the basis of that, we think we cannot be in that district to allow Honorable Marcus Thomas to be that kind of dictatorship that he put all that kind of dictatorship that he's putting.
When they say dictatorship,
I'm coming to it. I'm
yes,
coming to it.
We need some clarity.
Thank you. I'm
Yeah.
coming to it. So the point is, in this kind of participatory democracy that we are in, right? To make decision, you don't have to superimpose it on the people. Consensus building is a positive and pivotal part of leadership. And so if you want to craft a bill, for example, ones that have to do with making so clean a township, all right, you ought to reach out to the constituents of the district because they elected you. But to superimpose, all right, to superimpose decision on the people, we think it is quite unfortunate. And when people who are very logical, who are advocates and try to reach out to you, and you say, oh, you don't give them the room to sit with you on the table to have conversation, it is quite unfortunate. Like I personally, offered to me, Margot Thomas, to provide a leadership, a strategic youth development plan, but he rejected that offer. He rejected that offer. This is the kind of leader we're talking about. We don't have a functioning district development council. You cannot operate in a district or in any facet of any democratic arrangement. You don't have the district development council. The district development council is a conglomeration of community leaders that come together. God all can serve in a space, right? We need community leaders that will come together and form the district development council. That council will be charged with a statutory responsibility to ensure that the earmarked developmental projects, all right? For example, if Margot Thomas had reach out to the people and you open your line, and I even want you as an investigative journalist to go in our district and find out, because we are not in the business like the need until we are not in the business of providing any false food. All right, he had, if he could reach to the people could have maybe skill or preference. They could say, okay, the issue of the township is okay, but let's look at these other issues. All right, that's what we're talking about. We made our survey. We reached out to the leaders across the beltway of the district. They told us that they just heard it in the news. They just saw it on Facebook. You cannot run the district like that.
So let's deal with the issue about the township making so clean a township. As an organization, what is really your issue with Market Tama? Is it that you are opposing the township proposal he's making at the lower house, or is it that he's not consulting? It's a good bill, or he's not consulting his
Sarah,
constituents?
the issue is bad governance. The issue is not building consensus. We are not looking at individual. If Marco Thomas does the right thing, we'll come back to this in studio and tell you, like he said, our issue is not about who is in power. It's about the menace. All right, the bad leadership style. You cannot have a leadership that does not build consensus. That's what we're saying here in a nutshell. Like, we are not saying the idea to have township is totally and inherently wrong. That is not what we're saying. We are saying to do that, you ought to reach out to the people, because we don't want to breed a dictator or tyrant. And that is the issue we are confronted with. A dictator will just want to superimpose pressure on the people. No, we are saying no. We are saying no.
So have you done assessment? Have you spoken to the people of Soul Clinic?
That is why we are here.
And the community leaders
we reach
are
out
telling
to all of the community, the community heads. We reach out to all of the chairmen of the community. We reach out to all of them, all the leadership. We even reach out to ordinary citizens in various communities to sample their view. And so they told us, they saw the information on Facebook, they heard about it in the news. We felt that is quite unfortunate. If you want to look at the demographic arrangement of district number 4, right, you got to realize that that district is politically strategic.
Yeah, so
in terms of
we
population.
discuss district number 4,
Yeah.
but I want us to stick to the Soul Clinic Township,
So,
and we can come to other issues.
So the comment was net.
The issue of the township, right? If you look at the Local Government Act of 2018,
Okay.
it clearly gives rise to the Ministry of Internal Affairs to recommend to the president to declare a township, borough, district, or a county. Or a lawmaker could also propose a bill, right, seeking to create a township, a borough, a district, or wabi. But like the comrade said, our issue with the Soul Clinic Township bills that were proposed by Honorable Margot Thomas, our issue we have is consultation. Even though the lawmaker don't have the right to consult, right, the people before creating township, but it is also important for consultation, right?
I want to get some clarity around this thing. I just said you said the lawmaker doesn't have what? It is not the people of District 4 entitlement of consultation before proposing a bill.
The
That's
lawmaker,
the point you're making. Yes.
the lawmaker can sit today, right, and propose a bill.
Okay.
You can sit today and propose a bill
without consultation.
without consultation, which
Okay.
is not by
This is
law.
bad leadership.
Which is not by law.
Okay.
But what we are saying, if you do that, it is a what? Bad leadership. So before proposing a township bill, you must have had a consultation with the people, which is the local authority. You must have had consultation with the young people to see their input as is related to this bill. Let's take, for instance, if you propose a township bill for a community to have a township status, right? There are series of factors that come with it. There are economic benefits where somebody will say, yes, people will be commissioner, people will have job. But you also look at the basic constraints that it come with. If you don't consult the people, right, the people themselves might reject that bill because community leadership might feel that you want to take their job from them. Somebody is a community chairman, you want to take a job from them. People that live within the community will also think that the township will not survive when there is no taxation, right? Chief and elders will also think that you are coming to take their job from them.
How?
So-
How are you going to take the job from the chiefs and the head of the town chiefs?
Because you are proposing a township. So if
But
that bill,
by you having the township commissioner does not take the job from the people. Like, for example, you mentioned about the town chief.
so
that the township comprises of so many towns within the township. So that the commissioner will be
Hello.
the spearheading
Hello.
the entire township.
Hello.
The entire township.
For-
while you still have the town chiefs and other things that report.
no, you're getting it wrong. You are getting it wrong.
Wow. How
Make
did
it
I
right.
get
Make it right.
You are getting it wrong.
Yeah, make it right.
Let's look at Soclene,
Okay.
right? Soclene comprises of few communities. And you get New Cape Mountain, you got Gava, you got Mose Black, you got North Linton, you got Gaza, portion of Zeze community, right? All of these places, you have community chairperson that govern those communities,
I agree.
right? So if you have a geographical location which is not clearly defined, right, and propose a bill, you have an issue. The issue you have is, I'm the chairman of New Cape Mountain, and you have proposed a bill for Soclene to be a township. We're all consulting the local authority of that place, right? What will be my input? There will be no input. So, what we are saying is, Thomas should have gone back to the people, have community meetings, even have community consultation, and even select signature to back that bill before taking it to the legislature.
Okay.
Let's agree that the capacity of Soclene, because when you have a township, they must be able to create their own revenue, right? Yes. It is also an economic burden on national government. Government is also finding it difficult to generate resources, and then you are coming out to propose a bill for Soclene to be township. How many stores do we have in Soclene?
So let me.
I'm coming. Those are things that should have been taken into consideration by the lawmaker. So we are not saying the bill is not bad. Maybe even if the bill is bad, I will be commissioner.
Okay, so
But
let me
we are
ask you.
looking at
I want
that
to
side.
ask both of you this question. And
Yeah.
you're coming,
Come
Jerry.
let me come in.
Jerry, you're coming, right? But let me ask this question, and I want a very simple answer. I want for two of you to answer. Do you people support, right? Aside from the consultation, do you think Soul Clinic being a township, do you think it's a good idea? I want to answer for both of you.
So we said previously, honestly, to be honest,
Okay.
and like we always been, it is a good idea to have a township.
Okay. So let me.
But like the
define
brother said, right?
Yeah.
Like the brother said, there are technical issues that need to be considered.
Yeah, we are coming there.
There are technical
I'm
glitches
joined
that we need to
I
consider.
know the reason why I asked this
So
question.
this is why you see him going deeper and talking about deeper technical, glitches.
But
Yeah,
creating
yeah.
a township, making Soclene a township, for example, have more economic benefit than taking away economic benefit.
It also
and so
does
forth.
not negate the fact. It does not negate the fact that we had to look at other technical issues because we don't want to go into issues that will be a problem.
So
we support the
out of what
idea,
we
but there are technical
discussing,
issues that other us are going to sit.
when I listen so carefully, to
When you
the
having
both
your
of you,
show, right, you will call Kuna, Ambassador Kuna. You call him. You'll have conversation about technical issues, right? You will not just come on and just sell the show and just move on. I want to believe when you are setting all the program, you have conversation with your co-host, and then you arrange it the best way possible. You
So-
get him
so
info,
in
right?
the
They are
case-
saying
in the
that
case
other
of Michael
technical-
Thomas, your colleague just make it clear as a lawmaker to propose a bill. It is not by law that you consult your constituents.
But he also
1 minute.
No, I
1 minute.
don't want you to get
1
him
minute.
wrong. I don't
No,
want you
he's
to get
not
him
wrong.
wrong, right?
He's here.
He was
He's here.
emphatic.
He-
He was emphatic. He said in the 21st century, in a participatory
So you are
democracy,
discussing
You don't take
expediency.
decision.
You are discussing expediency. For example, I can sit here on the platform with Kona. It is compulsory that everything that I do here, I do consultation with Kona, and Kona also do
when the
consultation
lawmakers,
with me.
no, hello,
But that's not the
Rufus,
basis of
Rufus,
this
I just
argument.
want to,
We have
I just want to
pressure.
nip the
Yeah.
issue.
We have
I want
to
to
move
nip it in the
ahead.
bud, right?
We have to
When they
move
were
ahead.
having the impasse, right? You listen to most of the lawmakers saying, "My people say I should choose this side." All right. So consultative
Is it
leadership.
Michael Thomas consult district number 4 on his stand with the entire impasse?
That's one of the
Talking
issues.
about
That's one
Yeah,
of the
so-
issues.
so that's what
So that's what I'm saying.
But he will come on the radio. You will come on the radio and say, "My people say I should choose this side." So you lie on the people.
So, Jerry-
That's the point we're making.
Okay, so I want us to get something here, right? Now, the lawmaker have already submitted the bill to the House. Let's agree, right? For the sake of argument, let's agree that everything went wrong. What do you think?
No, not for
I
this.
mean-
No, the argument is now
I'm
everything
saying-
went wrong. We don't want you to misconstrue what we're seeing here, right?
So-
I'm
so-
listen,
we are saying-
that's what I said. Let's say for the sake of argument,
That
right?
would make
The
sense.
lawmaker went, he made some step, right? That's
According
he
to
made
you,
some step.
Yeah,
according to
errors,
you,
yeah.
Yes, according to you.
Yeah.
right?
That's
So
what
now,
you believe.
what do you think?
Oh, that one.
Needs
No,
according,
according to the reality, not
yeah,
according to
Jerry,
me.
you were
No,
answer.
no, you
I don't want you to tie it
No,
to me.
You are not.
Yeah.
That's what you believe. There are
That's what you
others.
believe.
There are others. They can.
Hey, when I agree with
Do
you,
you disagree with me that for you to have
I'm not a resident of this one.
you don't have to be a resident of data number 4 before you know the facts, before you know the reality.
Jerry,
you are an
yeah,
investigative
Jerry,
journalist. I
Jerry.
respect you so much.
Jerry,
Sorry.
Jerry, hello,
I respect you a lot.
hello.
You see-
Yeah, let me ask my question. Yeah, let me ask my question. You answer, right? We have a long time. Let me ask my question. So now, what have happened have already happened. What do you people, the campaigner for good governance, want from the lawmaker
Okay, so-
right now to correct the wrong?
So like I said, at time creating township is a serious issue, and that bills will affect the people of the community. So the people of the community should be in the know of what is in that document. So, like I told the guys that Honorable Michael Thomas should come back to the community and solicit the views of the people.
Why he have already submitted it?
Yes,
Okay.
come back to the people, call town hall meeting, get their views, get consultation from them, if possible, get signature, and take it back. Mind you, like I said, at times they are lost. When you writing, it'll be so fun to you. There are people who will see under the positive side, like you said, economic benefits, right? But when that law is passed and people start to go to people's shop and think for the very township to support the authority of the township, there'll be a lot of people that will start to default. But if you keep reminding the people of the economic benefits that come with their township and other, benefits that come to the township, That's the negative and the positive side of creating a township. If you remind the people, and the people are in the know, the bill might not be rejected. Like he said, we could raise an issue, and which we are about to do is Tomono Kampa in the
Hey,
district.
Representative Thomas.
Representative Thomas.
Yeah.
We will read the Liberian Senate that the Senate should not pass that bill because the procedure,
But what start with the Senate and the House of
The
Representatives is
procedure.
there?
the procedure is in committee room. It's in committee room. So we were engaged in that the procedure was not done the rightful way.
And who determine the procedure?
The citizens determine the procedure, and we are the citizens.
The country is governed by law, though, and the law
citizens
did not
determine
call for
the
that.
procedure. For expediency and for good governance, if you crafting a township bill, right? Look, my bro, go back to the people that elected you and have a conversation with them.
How many community leader and the campaigner for good governance engage? And how many of those people say Makatama did not go back to them for consultation?
So,
All of them.
for me, across
How many community leaders in
East
Soul
Sokoline,
Clinic?
right?
Yes.
I'm very close to the new Kemana chairman, Mr. Namagape. Let me just tell you that Honorable Margaret Thomas presented a bill on a Tuesday, and he and I were sitting on a Wednesday when the COS or Margaret Thomas called that we submitted a bill to test Soul Clinic to a township. So the bill is already there. And then the campaign of a good governance, we had a meeting where we proposed that we should meet.
Not talking about what you're close to.
come in.
There are how many
No,
community
listen to me.
leaders in Soul Clinic? I
You
want us to
listening?
get that
You
point
listening to
first.
me?
I'm listening.
We have a meeting that we should meet all community leaders. We should not just jump the gun to have a press release on this bill. And on the basis of that, we met the new Kemana chairman, we met the Gaza chairman, we met the Moses Black chairman, we even met the Soul Clinic chairman, Gavin Carroll. And all of them alluded to the fact that the office of Honorable Thomas did not consult either of them before submitting this bill. And we are saying it's a bad governance because the bill will affect the ordinary citizen of that community. So get back to them. Have a town conversation. And that is not just the issue that we are raising. No, let me tell you something. One thing that made this country is going backward on the daily basis is because our lawmakers are not coming back to consult us when it comes to decisions that they take at the house. Let's take for instance, you have 100,000.
Please use the microphone.
Yeah. You have 100,000 that were placed in the budget for
District
constituency
development.
visit, yeah, district
Yes.
development.
Yes.
They dropped it to 50,000. It went to 36,000 in the recap budget, right? And that money was given. Imagine I engaged a lawmaker in a chat room. He was able to tell me that the money came by a bill one bridge on Soul Clinic Road. Can you imagine that?
Did he say it was given to him?
The money was given to him. And you can call anybody from his
In the
office.
2025 budget?
In the 2024 budget,
So
when
let-
Fonati was speaker, there was an allocation that was made 100,000, but the 100,000 did not come.
Yeah, too.
So in the recap budget,
Yeah, we are aware of that.
it was 36,000, and that money should have gone to Liz for Liz to come and implement a project. And I challenge the lawmaker.
So now you
Yeah,
are bringing an allegation, which of course is that the entire government.
I'm drafting. So when we raised the issue, the lawmaker told us he built a bridge on Soul Clinic Road. And I challenged him. I said, no, he did not build a bridge on Soul Clinic Road. Because I live Soul Clinic. And even the community chairperson of that community that he talking about, where he put those two coverts, that he built a bridge, the community chairman was not in the know of the project.
But the lawmaker does not report to a community chairman.
So
No, let us get this thing clear. I know you got some issue. I know.
Let come there.
Yes, we will come there.
The
Let's get
lawmaker
this.
report to the constituents.
Yes.
The constituents, the community chairman is
That's
the
why.
constituents.
That's why the lawmaker
So
has
in my mind,
a yearly sitting, a district sitting, and make their report on some of the project they initiate doing the year.
so
he
if-
does
if
not
they-
need to go to a community dweller or a community chairman
You get
tell
something-
him
you get
to
something
or
wrong.
her to
You get
say,
something wrong.
I'm coming to
They
build
got
a bridge
they
here.
got certain thing, if you do sociology, they got something called community entry, right? Even though the lawmaker is representing the district, right?
That is sociology.
Yes.
This one is politics. He's a
in-
politician.
In the district has communities. Honor the communities, the community has leadership, right? So, in my mind, the lawmaker should work along with the community leadership in terms of implementing project.
That's what you believe.
So if a lawmaker take a cover from here and carry the Sokling and lay there, and someone can take it from there in and there, who will he ask?
The lawmaker lives in the district.
It's a community chairperson, right?
The lawmaker, hello.
Yes.
He's representing the district. He's the father of the district.
Yes.
He got full step in every community,
In every community.
almost every
In every
houses
community,
in,
yes.
in the district.
Yes.
So the acknowledgments you giving, he will not place a cover and he get missing easily.
Why? Why is it so?
Because he had art everywhere. So for example, the lawmaker can bring a cover right near your house, and without even letting you know. But at the end result, somebody is there manning that cover for the lawmaker.
And that's a mistake that we keep making in this country.
Okay.
Right? You got elected by the people.
Mm-hmm.
You got elected to represent, you make law and provide oversight for the people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, when you are making decisions for the people, right? Those people you are making decisions for should be consulted because they elected you. Let's take for instance, like what we are saying, right? The lawmaker is not taking money from his pocket to implement project. The money that is put in the budget is for the district. So if the lawmaker want to implement a project, the lawmaker should consult the district and the district should decide on which project should be implemented. But if the lawmaker will single-handedly just take anybody and say, yeah, go put cover down there. And at the end of the day, and come up with any figure, who will be accountable? So that's why if you see the governing system of Liberia, right? They said the executive implement the project. And the lawmaker will provide oversight. That is, the executive report to them. So let's take for instance, if the lawmaker put in the Ministry of Public Works budget to build Sokling Road, 200,000, and that road is not built, the lawmaker has the right to question it. So if the lawmaker will make an allocation of 36,000 in the recast budget for district development, right? Meaning the community resident should be consulted for all of them to decide on what to do.
So why this way is not holistic? If that is your argument, the implementation aspect. Hello. You were coming. The implementation aspect that you talk about that's supposed to be implemented by the executive and the lawmaker, the legislature is supposed to provide oversight. Now they are taking portion of this money and giving it back to the lawmaker to come and implement project within their very constituents. While the campaigner for good governance is not pointing the arrow at the 73 representatives and the 30 senators, but on the market talk.
Okay, so you see, that's why we said we are campaigning for good governance.
Yes.
We are not just pointing finger at Margot Thomas. Other lawmakers, I can vividly record when that money was placed in the budget, most of them call town hall meeting and their constituents decide on what to do with that money. Like the lawmaker, Sumo,
Okay, so
So,
let
I
me bring
mean,
something in mind, right?
Let him lay that question to rest,
so
then we can
so
come to that
uh,
question.
we follow most of these guys, and like my comrade Jared said, we are based in District 4. So District 4 is where we reside, right? So we
But you are
keep
not
the
restricted to District
Yes,
4. You
yes.
have professionals from around
But let me-
Liberia
we
who
keep
are
we keep
part of that
we keep
organization.
we keep engaging, and that why if you listen to me before, I appear on True FM, and I said if I were to make recommendation to the executive list need to be dissolved. The community agency for, I know how to call it,
Labra agent
Labra
for
Liberia
Agency
Agency
for
for
Community
Community how to call it, Empowerment. It is where the guys are putting money and going back for it to bring it in that district and
Okay,
pocket
so
it.
so let me say this. Thank you, right?
I wanted to conclude on that question, right? Because that question is key. You say, "Oh, why is it that we focusing only on my customers?" And have you asked any question outside the issue of the bill regarding soul clinic? We wouldn't have spoken about it. You were very strategic. You asked that questions. So we thought to deal with that question as you asked. We are not restricting you from questioning us on any facet
That's
of
what I
our
question
work.
you know.
All right.
Since you're not restricting me, that's what I brought the
So
question.
we
Why on the market
no,
timers?
but allow me to answer the question. Allow me to answer the questions.
The floor is yours.
So we are not saying you can ask any question, right? But we are saying what we know, the files that we have in here, we can't close our mouth on it. We have facts about the bill. We have people who reach out to us. Like we said, we did our survey. The view that we are articulating here, they are not just our view. They are the view of the people of district number 4. Across the bill of district number 4. That's what we say.
Okay, so
So when we tell you about, and you know the way the lawmakers operate, nobody in this ancient time, it is not necessary to do leadership as though or you operate in isolations. There's no people, right? You telling me that we should wait for the lawmaker to do the district report? No, it does not work like that, right? When there are projects being undertaken, you reach out to the people and look, and the people will look at the skill of preference. What should be prioritized? And so the people come out and say, okay, or even though this project is necessary, but let's take into account this one. In order you build a consensus with your people, the people should be a part of the decision making processes that you make. All right. So when you do that, then you go and implement. After you implement, it does not negate the fact that you should make this way report. Who told you when you meet the people you build consensus with them?
It is
then you
by
should-
law, though.
then-
The district report. You have to make district report.
I didn't say we should not make this way report. I'm saying after you build consensus with the people, for example, you were to buy uniform for all the students in the district, right? The people say no. Let's look at it. Let's build one government school because the government school are overpopulated. Let's build one school. And you see that, you say, okay, that will work well with the people. Yeah. So, okay, then let's build a government school. Then in the following year, we'll be able to buy uniform for the students, right? That is consensus building. After you have done that, during the precise time of district report or district setting, right? You may report that, okay, you said we should do school, we should build school. We fund a place, we pay for the land, we build the schools, the contractors this, and everything you explain to the people. That is how it works.
okay,
So
this
you will
was
always
right?
you will always want to give the lawmaker tough time because you talk about consensus and you
Oh,
have
you
the
call consensus tough time?
tough time.
No.
And the reason is very simple.
How you call consensus tough time?
The reason is very simple. You have, for example, in district number 4, let's assume it has maybe 30 community leaders. And once they come and you want to build consensus, there will always be competing interests. For example, I'm the chairperson of Soul Clinic Gaza, for example. I will always want, development in Soul Clinic Gaza. If the district representative were to come and ask, looking at the constraint, rule, condition, handpoint, and other things, and ask, we have 10,000, for example, to work in. What can we do with this 10,000? Which part of Soul Clinic can we direct this?
So Cyrus.
Cyrus will be pushing for Soul Clinic Gaza,
So Cyrus.
while the other chairman also pushing for this. And at the end result,
Thank you, Cyrus.
at the end result, the competing interest, everybody will leave
Thank
with some kind of grievance.
thank you, Sarah.
And some will be taking the air with it. When you doing it today?
Yeah.
So let's discuss the issue. That's what I hold
so
your
Sarah,
colleague.
thank you. Thank you.
I admire your colleague when he mentioned that experience matter, but it is not by law that the lawmaker come into consultation. So he
Sarah,
or she will sit
Sarah,
where they want to sit
I understand the
and
question.
make that decision.
I understand the question. On compound complex discussion. I understand you already. So the point is, if Sarah was able to convince me that vote for me, I will be able to do proper representation. And I agree. I voted for Sarah. Why you think it is it impede his working by him reaching out to me to build consensus? All right. It is simple. You have competing priorities. There will always be competing priorities. But then democracy play in. If you bring all the heads of the various communities, right, that this is what we intend to do, convince them. Honestly, convince them, just as you did during the elections. When you convince them and they say, okay, we want for the project to go on, and you put it in a democratic process, you vote upon it, it doesn't take you much.
Okay, so,
you
so
know?
I get more interest in the allegation that you're coming raised. Right, all the other things you people talking, my interest is not really there. The allegation that he raised. For instance, he talked about the lawmaker told him one of their chat rooms that he built a bridge with the 36,000 reportedly that were given to him. But now, in April 2024, the list boss went to the house and told the house that they identified 356 projects across the country from various constituents and their lawmakers to do with what that were in the budget. But now you are coming to tell the Liberian people that those money were given to the lawmaker. What's the fact?
So he did not say,
So-
let me come in and you just conclude.
Yeah.
He did not say it that the money was given to various lawmakers. He said Marco Toma admitted
That they gave lawmaker that he gave him only 36,000 and he
But let
built
me-
bridge.
but-
Am I correct?
Please protect me now.
Am I no? But I'm trying to say I'm lying.
But let me learn my thought.
You
Let me
just
learn
sound
my
like-
thought. Otherwise,
But that's what the man
you
said.
had the
The
opportunity.
man is right. Let him answer for
You
himself.
had it.
I don't think you should.
Yeah, you will
spoke for
answer.
him.
You will
I don't think you
answer.
spoke for him.
You will obviously
Eh,
answer.
But
let me
the
point
the
out,
man,
right?
what the man say, I
So
said,
the
they
point
said no.
is,
Yeah.
Marco Tomo alluded to the facts. Or no.
And we
that-
were not there though.
you don't have to be there. I'm saying that you can do an investigation. You are an investigative journalist.
But I'm looking at what
Yeah.
they said.
So he
So
said,
now he's contradicting what they said.
Yeah.
So what's the fact
He
now?
said he said his money, the money for the district, was given to him in Bill Bush, right? We know how politicians bamboozle their way too.
How sure are we that you're not,
We know how
that,
to
that,
do
you're not
it
lying
way.
on the lawmaker?
So
You are not living as a
see-
nation.
you see, my brother,
Yeah.
for me,
Please use the microphone.
yeah, for me, like I always told people, when I speak with facts.
And that's the fact we want.
And Tomo is
Representative Thomas.
Representative Tomo is my big brother, and he and I, we shall not have conversation. And I have one person that been raising the issue when it comes to the misrepresentation of Thomas in the district, Representative Thomas in the district. And I raised the issue of this 100,000. And when I raised the issue, somebody challenged me from the office that they have not given the 100,000. If it is proving that they are giving the 100,000, the person will resign. And I told him, I said, I challenge you. And Tomo came and told me that the 36,000 came. And I asked, so what happened to the 36,000? He said, I built a bridge. I built bridge to circulate road. I said, wow. I said, with all the consent of the people, and that's how I took the lead. I went to True FM. I appeared on the Onira, how they call it, True Breakfast Show. And I spoke, and I said, and I will repeat that list is being used by the lawmaker to pocket money.
How do the people
For
believe
themselves.
what? How do the people believe what you say?
So,
You just saying that there's no proof.
we just
How
had
do
an
the
issue.
people
We just
believe
had,
you?
we just had an issue in Sarala district. If you can follow, with Representative Memo Breeze Mansia, when Eli Jalo raised the issue that the community people, right, proposed a project, but the lawmaker levied to build a mini Parawa horse side, the radio station that worth 20,000. And it was Akime Oil around here, right? So even though it's a late project, but who hired the contractor? It is the lawmaker, right?
Wait, in Salah?
In Salala, you can do your 5
I come
So
in.
that-
I
let's
come
stick-
in.
let's stick to
So
it.
Yeah, I come in.
let's stick to
If
the
you want,
topic.
you want to discuss the issue,
No, I'm
don't go to Salah because I don't think. Right?
Hello?
You had lots of information.
I don't have
because you're
information.
starting to say a lawmaker.
I'm just telling you that-
that one is wrong.
I'm just telling you
Right.
that. I'm
Yeah,
just
so
telling you
let's
that
go with the
the
full.
news, and I follow the news. You can go on Jalo page. It is alleged, right?
Jalo have been bombarded
So-
by the representative office on that statement he
Which-
made,
that-
and they have
that-
provided some evidence.
That
So
is
stick
up to them, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that-
that's what I
So
said.
back
Let's
to,
go with the
back to
full.
this before,
Yeah.
right? And I challenge Liz. When you undertaking a project, right? The first step to undertaking a project is to do feasibility study, right? That is, you identify the place, you go and do your study to see what are some of those things that you're supposed to do there. I challenge them. I have not seen in District 4 all of the places, if you pass to the last Cowfield Road that connecting Soul Clinic, right? That project was captured on a list. But you know who there? Who I saw there?
When you were kept on the list.
All right. Now, you like Jared said, you guys need to do
My brother,
some
I'm asking
investigation.
you when it was
That
kept on the
project was
list.
captured on a list in the 2024 budget, right? And it will behoove you. When you go to that place, you will see our friends. When I say our friends, the guys, the Zogos, they're the one were filling that covert. And I went there, I asked, I told the lawmaker, I said, all of these things that you are doing is the waste of public resources.
Yeah, so let's get something clear
Yes.
first. Yeah, let's get something clear. So you are alluding to the fact, right, that the 2024 budget lists, the district number 4 had a project that were captured on the list. Am I correct?
Sure.
Now, then now you are coming to tell Labyrinth people and tell district number 4 residents that the lawmaker went Nicodemus Day and got the 36,000.
Yes.
Right?
And put me on record.
So that's what I'm saying. What are the facts?
Record.
What's
We're not
the
just gonna
fact?
put
Because
it
you
on
just
record,
make
but the
allegations. There's no
facts.
fact.
So if I have come to your studio and I have told you that the lawmaker clearly alluded to the fact that the $36,000 came, right?
Do you have?
So you
do,
as a, you,
do you
no,
have the communication?
I don't have to provide communication. So you as an investigative journalist, your responsibility now could be
And that's the reason why I'm asking you
I-
now, because
alleged.
you're giving the information.
I have alleged, right?
No, but you have to provide some fact before I go do some background analysis.
Gentlemen, that run into base. I know
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah, yeah, come in.
I know for sure.
So-
Sometimes this, discussion can get intense.
So
But
you go there and do your 500.
I don't have
the
to
office of the
listen,
lawmaker.
before I go there, you should provide something first. I'm not just going to go but provide something.
So just by telling you that this is what the lawmaker said, right? It gave you ground to begin your investigation.
No,
process.
listen.
Wait,
I come
people
in.
tell me.
Come in.
it's not
Aside-
off the record.
No.
Aside and
Listen,
listen.
for instance, right? For
Aside and
instance,
listen.
yeah, before you come in, Jerry, for
With
instance,
precedent,
if you
this
say
time, man,
someone
Yeah,
did
let
this
me
thing,
conclude.
if you say someone did
Take
this,
your
right,
point.
you should provide some level of facts. Then I will go beyond and say, oh, is this fact that the person gave me, is it proving? Is it the corrupt fact? So
Kola,
the
let
you
me
just
fit
say
there,
something,
let
then
it
I will
sound
go join
on the
community.
So they better
Because you say
establish,
something.
they better establish the moral high ground, right? By initiating it. All right. You also open a call. You open a call, and
The
people
public
will
will
call.
be the judge.
The public will be the judge.
That is fair enough.
So we need not to
So
be
if you are
holding and
just
pulling.
joining us,
Nobody
this
is
is
in
the
a business
talking
of lying on
point.
anybody
The
yet.
talking point.
But
Be
the truth
honest.
is, before you make allegation, you should
Oh
have
my
facts.
God.
That's the truth. Yes,
The
Cyrus, let's go
message,
to
oh,
it.
the message, the
If you are
message.
just coming our
So
way,
you
this
need
is
that kind of
talking
bring
point,
recording here?
and we will now open
This is
the
the
phone
talking
line now
point.
for you to actually, interact with our guests. Here we are discussing in district number 4 issue, Liberia issue. We have a campaigner for good governance here this evening trying to direct some arrow at the District 4 lawmaker, as well as discussing the Liberia problem, that is corruption, the fight against corruption. These young people are trying to fight against corruption, and they are going back and forth everywhere in our society. And so the number to call at 0777 907 907, 0777 907 907, or 088 711 107 0887 111 Those are the numbers to call. Call and make your contribution. For those of you watching or live, you can leave your comment and we'll read them out here before leaving. So let me take this first person. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Kindly tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is James Lablawoy. I'm the chairman for the campaign for good governance in district number 4.
Okay.
Thank you so much for hosting my colleagues in studio to provide you some pertinent issues I said on 4 in district number 4.
Okay.
And listening to you, you asked some of questions to my colleague as to relate to why it's not the lawmaker does not have the responsibility to ask or to meet the consensus of the people in the district before preparing a bill. I think that is totally wrong. It's unthinkable. You cannot be a lawmaker and you say that you want to provide a bill that would have trickle-down effect on the people in a district, and you said the people cannot have consensus towards that. That is unthinkable. Before you became lawmaker, you are not the one that carry aside the level of the capital building. It was not your family that voted you. It was the same people that voted you, right? If you do developmental study, it will tell you clearly that before you carry development to the people, you must do feasibility study, right? In there, you ask the people what they want. Is Socrates need township now? Is the township that going to solve the bread and butter issue in Duporo? Is the township issue is the one going to solve the bread and butter issue in Peloton? We said no. So we are campaigning for good governance. We are calling on the plenary to reject this bill until Micah Thomas can bring this bill back to the district and we sit and discuss it to find a better way forward.
Thank you ever so much, Mr. Chairman. I know you can't address your people, but let's take the next person. Good evening. Good evening. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening, Mr. Kuna and Success Kuyate.
Okay.
Let me say
Yeah,
good evening to
good evening, Lawson.
your student girls.
Okay.
This is just a family, and I'm from district number was one county, but a legitimate supporter of Honorable Marco Thomas. I campaign for this Honorable 11 Brother District number 4 to ensure that he is sent to the seat that he has today. But it is bad in our society to have a group of young people who was only form an organization just target only one individual. We saw that in the past, District number 4 have men called the intellectual class of Inzio. It was only targeting the former representative Rosalind Swakoko. We saw that there were a lot of fraud. So that these guys have reorganized themselves. They have recalibrated their political ideas in the name of organization to fight Michael Thomas. But some of us will be at the back. That's why we live in district number 4. We have properties in district number 4 as well. We are a voter, registered voter of district number 4. So we support.
Oh, you registered the voter of district number 4?
Yes, I campaign.
Okay, don't get any problem here again, yo. Don't get any hard time here again.
Look where that. I campaign the left and breadth of district number 4 from Michael Thomas from Duporo Market as far as testing turning point.
Okay.
Michael Thomas knows the record, not because some of us we're not dragging behind him for tour. No.
Thank you, Tama. Thank you.
Those guys who go and remove Let them stop about it about cheap gossip. Michael Thomas is doing extremely well for the people of District Number 4.
Thank you.
Not a so-called vicinity of some of us. These people have brought
Thank
up
you. I
more
have to let you
calamity in
go,
District
please.
Number
Thank you.
6.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Kuwaiti.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Styles and good evening, Okuna.
Yeah, good evening, Oracle.
Yes, all right. So, like, not waste much time. I think this is just a new breath of the RCP. Like, almost everybody I listen to them calling the African government. I think they all come from the intellectual class of things. I think they broke away because one corner now is telling the RCP. But let me one thing was to the guy. Even the days of RCP was not they went against some lawmakers and healed another because of what they could get from the lawmakers. We saw it when they went against who? They bring up very evil and gave up to some kind of in the district. Like even suffocating people more than Sako was doing district number 4. So coming back now with the spotlight with a new need, I think they gotta be careful and put themselves in order because the few guys he's working with, the guys that came from the RCP. And RCP today, nobody can see RCP to be a serious organization in Tuesday. Because most of the guys were in the now selling their stomach for
Thank
little
you.
nothing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Good evening. Good evening. What is your name? Where are you joining us from?
Well, good evening. My name is Blair Bobby Addison, calling from Zubatown.
There you are, Mr. Addison.
Thank you. Well, here, listen to the guys in studio trying to defend, but I have different view when it comes to. I work at a capital building more than 18 years. First with Senator John Aker Balut, later on Speaker Buford Chambers as his media advisor.
Okay.
I know the Michael Thomas well when he used to be in one of the department there, but the community we live in Zubatown, we don't feel his impact here. I took up my time to ride on my motorbike up to Soaklin and other areas. There were most of those that contested in this district. The focus is Swakoko, Dennis, and Cynthia. Michael Thomas is taking the trend of that lady. Remember, the people voted for you. You must go back to them. And before you make one decision, I have the rules of the house. I got it here with me. It's almost like an NGO work.
Okay.
Before you do anything in the district, you must consult your people. They give you the job. They can dismiss you at the wait and pleasure at the appropriate time. They can employ you at the wait and pleasure.
Okay.
They give you the job, you must do the work of the people. But I have observed that Zubatown do not have a police. I engaged with Michael Thomas once on that. Police depot is not here. You don't have a clinic or community clinic. Look, those things that the people need, safe drinking water. I know not everything the lawmaker you can lobby to have it here. As I said, more than 18 years I work at a capital building. I know a lot about capital building and the rules of that house.
Thank you.
I would say to the guys in the studio, go back and tell Michael Thomas he need to have a town hall meeting with his people, not only so cleanly his base.
All right.
You need to visit Zubatown, Bishop Kuda community. Thank you very much.
Thank you ever so much. Take the next person. Good evening.
Yeah.
Good evening. Good evening. Tell us your name and where you calling from.
Oh, they send me back calling us Zubatown.
What year you saying?
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, I get into your discussion. You see, that means I just dropped it down. I won't bother in ever because at the same time, you see, when it comes to election, when campaign coming, the people in go, they are kind of with the CDC, we work together. But when they get in power, they all want way alone. You know, they have to be a me for me and for Michael Thomas. For president now in Zubatown, they seem to I got a black fool. But I think it'll be my honorable, you know, I want to go somewhere. But it's not only so clean. They can't use Zubatown in our area too because some of we run campaign and some of will make a fool for him.
So you want to be township too? Zubatown want to be township?
Of course, because we want to
Okay.
yeah, we have the 7 districts.
7 black.
They have the 7 black, we get black with black 7.
Okay.
And I don't go fear for black 4. I'm a chairman.
Okay.
I'm a general chairman with River P.
Okay.
Yeah. And what was that, boy? Everything is so clean. No.
All
That's
right.
what they should people, you power they should fall. And our chairman here, of 4 is doing a criminal where our employee people have Molosa Wale. And you're buying so clear, part of Omega way. I am planning for that. We have to work with your people. It's not what people like. We are doing a committee work of issues there. When they put him in a car, they will not use the other, they will do not only they will make the rule. So when you're doing your way, if you call all the blind hair, you put together, how long? You move around, you do well, because you do the benefit for the next step for you to go back.
Thank you, Bayoga.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You should always carry 1 10 representative. I know what.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, anyway.
Good evening.
How you doing?
I'm okay. Tell us again where you're calling from.
This is Francis D. Manifold, and I call from Soaking the community.
I hear you.
You see, it is very sad in that a hard time will make our brothers, get around angry losers. They get in with small money and they get the studio to lie on our leaders. Okay, and I challenge them. Margaret Thomas, that is that ever was equal to Honor Thomas. The man is doing he almost best in the midst of challenges. He is doing almost best.
Marcus Thomas consulted the Soaking community on the bill, on the township bill.
The township bill, yes.
He consulted all of the chairmen. That what you're saying? You challenging the guys that Marcus Thomas and consulted the people?
And even it was captured within the district report, and then the guy, I didn't know how I didn't know about it, but
What kind of district report?
I'm very confused.
You know why? Hello.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
said, which district report?
Yeah. And when evil engulf these guys, they cannot know the truth. Margaret Thomas in a district report, he said it, and the community chairperson are in the know of it. Okay.
All right.
But then, and then the guy were paid to go to the studio and just lie. Even if you go at that drill bill, who were done there.
Liberians are good at that.
Yeah, and then at the Gaza area, all around the district. The district is big. Margaret Thomas is actually doing well. So
Thank
I
you.
do not know where the guys are coming from with the fabrication.
Thank you. Make your point.
Yeah, the guys are paid agents. Yeah,
All
they
right.
are paid agents.
All right, we got you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Good evening.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm Lord Swa, a Liberian, and I'm calling from District 13 in particular. I want to say house onto the guys in the studio, even if they are going because of anybody are taking some things. In your luxury, for 2005 of the current, 90% of our lawmakers do not know their responsibility of be clear on this. The 3 kind of issue that they are elected for lawmaking representation in oversight, the malfunction in those areas. You cannot introduce bill or you cannot get on project without the coincidence or with the district or the community. When the budget is passed, you reach out to your people, ask them, most of our country receive this, and we share a district, 13 district there, have this, and what we need to do, the community leader, that's why it's be a district council. But most of our lawmakers single-handed decide the same religion, and they decide how to share the people money. So at the end of the day, if you find around most of our country elaborate a lot, you will find a lot of projects undone. They will just go to the playground, well, in comes to district 2 right here. You will see a daily rest at the police station that was constructed by Richmond up to now is there. And let's say there on a being somebody it was not touched.
Thank you.
The boulevard, a market building was there.
Thank you. I have to let you go, please.
Good
evening. Good evening. Good evening. Tell
Yeah,
us a name
Kuyate.
where. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know what I'll cut off this number. I don't know what I'll cut off
Oh, Tama, you took
believe at
almost
times
4 minutes,
elapse.
man. You took 4 minutes.
Yeah. Kuyate, very quickly, I'm so happy
Yeah.
when I'm always talking about my customers. I have not seen the 55th national legislator, a legislators who is more communicative to the people than Michael Thomas. Under Michael Thomas as representative of District Number 4, first of its kind, we see a bill that was submitted to the 55th National Legislature for the establishment of the Pinsville Community College, that which we young people, over 77,000
I mean, I
inhabitants in
think we have to
Pinsville are
give you
ever
time
applied
to
for.
kind of give us some of
Yeah.
the
If
progress
I was
Magatama
PRO,
making. Please,
if I
please.
was PRO over Michael Thomas, by this time
But
these
okay,
guys
pay
are
money, you
When
can't
they're
do that
ready, you
thing.
bring some money, we'll
Yeah.
promote it,
if
yeah?
by this time these guys have dismantled them politically because
Okay.
they are not even legal. They don't even these guys cannot even show you office
No,
in
but you
district
have to
number
start, you
4
got,
that they operate on.
no, you
These guys
can't erase
they're not
that out,
legal.
brother. If they're
No,
not
they are
legal,
not
it doesn't
legal.
mean they can push the
We cannot
issue.
Eh.
You can talk about
establish an
national issue.
organization or
Man,
we
that man,
cannot
Please, let
that man
establish.
go. Leave that man.
Please
Hello.
move away from your monitor, please.
Hello.
Tell us your name and where you calling from.
I'm Jade Abraham Blama. I'm the Sharif. I'm calling from District Number 3, Masararo County.
I hear you.
So let me just attend to my colleagues at the studio. And basically, you are discussing about the district issue. You're not just relating to District Number 4, also the 17th District in Masararo County. So we are looking at District 3, lawmaker 2. He is not doing no work in District 2 because we're discussing about working relationship with the district people and the community leadership. We are not doing anything. So, and the police are instead of the record basis of the district issue. Michael Thomas is not doing anything because sometimes we pay our visit to the area and more often they will say you're not there and even they will more get cross wall.
You live in District 4?
I must say he pay a visit. So if
My man, they probably know you. You
they're
in
not
the good district, they
you
going
are
there.
uninvited, so the woman gotta give you crossroad anyway. Thank
So
you.
I pay a visit to District 4 more often.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not seeing anything done in District 4. Like, oh, Michael Thomas is pushing on airway when you can't do anything in District 4.
Okay, man, let you go and take at least 2 more call up, please. And then we gotta go back to our guests. Good evening.
Hello?
Good evening. What is your name and where you calling from?
Emmanuel, I was calling from Transit Community.
I hear you.
Margaret to be specific.
Yeah, go ahead. I hear you.
Okay, I want to give credence to all the callers that have been calling, and I want to say that congratulations to Honorable Marcus Thomas, even though I'm not living in his district, but he's doing very well. But let me share my point in a few minutes I have. But let me tell you something. I agree to 100% level that the legislature in the country is our major problem, right?
You got
And
30
we are the
seconds.
supporters of our problem.
Okay.
And we must learn how to utilize our political franchise. Up to then, we'll stop complaining on political leaders and their actions in the country. Until then, they owe no answer, we owe them no question.
Thank you.
Because if I can sell my vote to you,
Thank you. Okay, we can take at least one more caller and cross over to you guys to respond to some of the caller. I know there are some that are trying to. Okay, let me take this last person. Good evening. Good evening.
Hello, how you doing, brother?
I'm okay. Tell us your name and where you calling from.
Okay, my name is Ismail Sami, calling from Tuburu, Subata.
Yeah, you get at least 30 seconds. I hear you.
Yeah, I want first of all, let's go for the discussion where you are on. But I want to tell you that in Tupuru, yeah, that will be Sunday. We made District 4, which is Marco Tomo. I'm not saying that I'm a feature in Pebble. I see what I can see, but I know why it's going on in the district. Because some people where I went to the main hospital last time, we were going to for certain bridge to FDA way. So the other thing that the government who road there at least will be all right. So the lawmaker is doing well.
All
I'm a
right.
visual player. I can see, but I know why it's going on. I know why it's doing.
Okay. Thank you.
So okay, let's
Thank you.
go.
Make your point. So now, gentlemen, I think you were taking note. You're listening to the callers. Um, we just get about 8 minutes to go, so you can respond to the caller in at least 3 minutes, both for you, and then you do your parting comment from that point.
All right, thank you very much.
Take hold the microphone.
We want to extend a profound thanks to all of the callers for the appointment made, and even the guy who called and said that we took money. And my own disappointment was like you had a